Hello, Karin skacel here on behalf of Makers Mercantile with the top 5 things to look for in today's newsletter. Item number 1 is usually our yarn, like this scarf that I have on that Liz created, and she actually gave to me. I mean, how sweet is that for Christmas? Because I absolutely adore it. We usually have some kind of a kit going on or whatever, and just so you know, this is the ZickZack scarf, and it was done with 1 ball of the Zauberball Crazy as well as 1 set of the Urth self-striping yarn. Anyways, we don't have a yarn for you today. Instead, we're going to start with the skacel Addi click sets. We just received a new shipment in of the square sets, and I know a lot of people have been waiting for them. We have a limited amount on hand, but this is what the set looks like. I'm going to hold it up a little bit closer. Hopefully you can see these are the square needles. The square needles actually have a textured tip. So I'm going to try to hold this up, and I'm going to hope that you can see that textured tip. So it is not only square, it has rounded square corners so they don't dig into your hands, but it also has this little bit of texture on it. It makes it very nice to hold in your hand. It holds your yarn on the needle, even if it's a slick yarn, yet because it is still chrome plated, it slips off very easily when you're knitting. So in my eyes, this is the perfect needle. Also, it has a really, really great tip, and I'm not so sure if that'll come into focus for you, but I'm gonna try. The tip is, in my eyes, it's just the perfect tip. It's not overly sharp, so if you're a pusher, it's not going to poke into your hands. Yet it's sharp enough that when you have to knit 2, 3, 4 stitches together, you can easily get in there without any problem. Now, these Addi click sets, if you don't know much about them, they're interchangeable sets. Every single set that is made by Addi, all the pieces can be combined. So, for instance, with this set, which is the square long tips, their tips are about 4.5 inches long. You get sizes 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. That's 8 sizes of needles. So you get 8 sets, and on top of that, you get the cords to go with it. And in this case, you're going to get 24, 32, and 40-inch cords. This is what the cords look like. They have the beautiful blue cord. We also think the cords are perfect. They're not too stiff and they're not too loose. When they're too flexible, it doesn't support your yarn. When they're too stiff, it makes it hard to maneuver. When they're perfect like this, it makes knitting really, really easy. Anyways, you get those 3 cords with it. Those can be interchanged with any other Addi click set that you have. Now, if you have short tips though, obviously, if you're going to use a cord from this set, it's going to be slightly shorter, by about 2 inches. So here we go. The way they work is you have a plug and you have the needle, and you just put the needle onto the plug, and then you've got to give it a little push. I'm not so sure if you can see how that spring works there, but you give it a little push and then you twist it, and then it locks into place, and that's why it's called the click set, because it sort of like clicks into place. So what you're looking at is a tip that is not screwed on, and you don't need an extra tool to screw it on. And because it's not screwed on, as you're twisting like this and you're knitting, it's not going to come unscrewed. Once it's clicked in place, it is in place. And that is what makes the Addi click system so special compared to all the others. And it is a patented click system. So there you go. Anyways, why are we featuring these? Because we just got them in stock. We were out of stock for such a long time, and a lot of people were asking for them. So we have the Addi click squared sets. Of course, we have other sets in stock too, but we have them in stock, both the short length and the standard length. Now, why would you get the short length? Because the short length you can actually knit hats with. You can go all the way down to a 16-inch and get a 16-inch cord and a 20-inch cord as well. So it makes it easy to use hats. And you want to keep in mind, though, that the tip is going to be about 3.5 inches long versus the 4 inches long that I have on this set. You also get a connector, and the connector is good for if you want to take your tips off and you want to use them on another project, you can just put the 2 ends of the cord in both of those ends there, and then that way you're not tying up your tips and so on. You get this great case that holds all the needles. has a magnetic closure, and then in the back it has the zippered compartment for you to put your cords in. So we have a special, and that is if you purchase either the long set or the short set of the Addi square clicks right now, we're going to give you this special tool. And this is our, or skaccel's very own little gauge for the square needles, because although they do work in a round gauge, you have to be able to fit them in just perfectly to understand exactly what size it is. And the size is written on the actual cord, but with this little extra gadget here, you can just slide it in and you'll know exactly what size it is. And so that is our special right now. I'm not exactly sure how long it goes. I think you get the free piece through the 25th if you purchase your set. And I think we only have 10 in stock of each one. So if you've been looking at this and waiting for them, now is a perfect time to purchase them. Will you get them in time for Christmas? If you wanted to give them as a gift, probably not. As a matter of fact, it would take a miracle. But we would still be happy to ship them. So there we go. That is our sort of yarn. It's not really, it's a needle for today. Then we have more specials going on. As you know, next Friday, not this coming Friday, but Friday the 31st is unfortunately our last day in our shop. Our shop will be closing, but we will be remaining online, and we have plans to further our community online with more free classes and Zoom events and so on. But for the time being, we do need to get rid of some of the things in our shop. As we go to online only, we are going to discontinue carrying all the sewing materials. And so every single fabric that we have, just about every single fabric that we have, is on sale now at 50% off. So if you wanted to stock up on materials, now is the time to do it. All our ribbons, and just so you know, we have very, very, unique fabrics. We have a lot of Japanese fabrics. We have a lot of AGF cotton fabrics. That is the one that is a very, very high thread count for quilting, but it makes really great shirts because the thread count is so high. Really great skirts, dresses, all that kind of stuff. We have a lot of different ones that are like canvases. We also have, well, we've got a whole range of fabrics. So if you go to the website and type in fabrics and ribbons, they'll show up. Remember, we also have ribbons. We have the Renaissance ribbons. Those are also 50% off now. And then we have a whole assortment of other ribbons, including strapping, like this strapping here, which is perfect for making bags and so on. All 50% off. Because we are going to be discontinuing to, I'm in a little cubby here. We are going to be discontinuing to carry those. What we do, or what we're adding on a sale today, that I will tell you is not because we're getting rid of them, because we're not. We're going to continue carrying buttons. But in January, we need to do a button inventory. And with over 1,000 buttons, we just really want a little bit less to count. So right now, till December 31st, we are having 50% off all of our buttons. So if you would like to order some buttons, please do so. We have so many different unique buttons. These are shell buttons that we have. We have some really beautiful ones that have metallic and resin. We have these, are these horn, I think? Yep, these are beautiful found horn buttons. Look at that, and they're pretty big too. We have a whole selection of wooden buttons that are absolutely fabulous. If you're looking for small buttons for shirting and so on, look at this. We've got these. And when I show you these, we probably have like 10 different boxes that are filled with these as well, because we do have a lot of buttons, a lot of metal buttons, really beautiful hand-shaped metal buttons, and then some really whimsical things like this, which is carved out of a coconut shell. So we have all different kinds of buttons, and right now they're 50% off, and that is through the end of the month. Then one more thing, we have featured in our newsletter is the Zoom Loom. So this is, let me take this off here. This is what the Zoom Loom looks like. I wonder if I can hold this up like this without knocking things over. There you go. That's what your Zoom Loom looks like. So it is pretty small and extremely lightweight. There you go. And what you can do with the Zoom Loom is make lots and lots of different little squares out of any kind of material that you have. So what you can do here, like here someone made a little bow tie out of a Zoom Loom. One of our favorite things to do out of the Zoom Loom squares is to make these adorable little sheep. It's basically a little square that's wrapped around a little fluff, and then we use some, what are these called? Clothespins down at the bottom for the feet. We cut out a little face out of felt for the head and pop on some little eyes. A great little project to do with kids. And with this Zoom Loom, it's so small, so it's really great if you're doing a car trip or something, airplanes. It doesn't get in anybody's way, and you can create, you know, you could make a whole herd of little sheep. But there's lots of different ideas of what you can do with the little Zoom Loom squares online as well. So there's all that information. Now, I do want to make sure that all of you locals know that on Friday, we will only be open, that's Christmas Eve, from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. Then we're gonna allow our staff to go home to celebrate with their families and enjoy the long weekend. We will be closed Christmas Day on Saturday as well, and then we are normally closed Sunday and Monday, and we will continue to be closed those 2 days. We will reopen on Tuesday through next Friday. That will be our grand finale in the shop. We do have an awful lot of small items that we need to get rid of, old gift items, things like that, and we will be marking those down. Unfortunately, those won't be online for you people who are on the other side of the country. Some of them are very breakable things and so on, and it just isn't cost effective for us to ship it at the moment. So there you go. I went over the square click sets through the 25th. You get the free gauge, your buttons, all of them 50% off right now. We've got the Zoom Looms in stock. Great Christmas gift, although you won't get it by Christmas unless it takes a miracle, or a miracle happens, let's put it that way. And then remember, all of our fabric, our ribbons, and also all the sewing patterns now are all 50% off. All right, I think that does it for today. I wish you all a wonderful week. It is Tuesday, that's right. So I'll talk to you again on Friday. And yeah, in the meantime, be happy, be creative, and yeah, I think that's it. Ciao.